What's up, guys? Alright, this one's actually my personal favorite, shoulder day. Now, the shoulder warm-up is actually going to be the same as it was on chest day as well as back day. So if you haven't watched the intro video on how to prime all the heads of your deltoids, be sure to go back to chest day video and watch it. It's the exact same one as the one you're watching here. We really want to get the heads of those the deltoids primed before we hop into our shoulder workout. Alright, so the strength movement for shoulders is going to be overhead press. If you're not familiar with it, obviously as the name suggests, you're going to be pressing a barbell overhead. Now, the strength movement here, it does get a lot of involvement from traps and deltoids, which are obviously the shoulders. But also, I like to do these standing because this actually has been proven to get a ton of core engagement and help strengthen the core. Now let's watch it again in slow-mo so we can really take in all the little bits about the form. First off, let's take note that I'm set up on the squat rack. I find this easiest so that way when I'm fatigued at the end of my set, I can easily re-rack the weight. Next, take note that at the bottom of the movement, as you can see right here where I'm setting up, the barbell is actually resting on my collarbones. It is all the way down to where it's resting on my torso. Something I like to tell rookies is, if the bar feels like it's choking you, then you're doing it right. Also, as soon as the camera rotates here, you'll notice that I'm actually going with a thumbless grip. Now, thumbless is obviously a little bit more of a more dangerous grip, but by doing thumbless, we can place the bar lower in our hand, creating a little bit more of a straight structure with our skeletal structure. Now, the hand placement itself, notice it's actually in very tight. It's only a couple inches outside of my shoulders, very similar to what I was telling you about bench press. We do not want to go super wide grip with these. And also, you see I'm pressing the bar up in a straight line, but I'm not just pressing it all the way up, I'm pressing it all the way over my head, so my head actually moves forward into the pocket. Something I see a lot of people doing is they push the bar actually almost out at an angle, and then they have to bring it back really fast before they lose control of the bar. The bar needs to go straight up, so it's actually going to almost hit you on the chin in each and every rep, and then you need to push it even further back. So you see I'll move my head forward right here. Boom. Just like that. That's going to get a little extra squeeze with the shoulders, get a little bit more recruitment of muscle fibers in there, so we're hitting everything in our shoulders. And from this angle, you can actually see, look, when my elbows come down, they're actually tucked inward. They're very close to my torso. This is a whole lot easier with that close grip I was talking about earlier. This is very important, that we want our triceps to actually come down to where they're resting on our lats. Your lats should be flared, so you're actually flexing all the muscles in your back to keep your shoulders locked into place. This is very important for injury prevention, and it's also going to help to get that extra squeeze on the deltoids all the way through the movement here. Now, just a couple more things I want you to take note of. Now, you'll notice that my body, my torso, is not moving. That's because I'm not using my legs at all. I'm not giving this a leg drive. That is a totally separate exercise. Strict overhead press means no leg drive. So, once I step away from the rack, my feet are placed about shoulder width apart, and that's where they stay. I never bend my knees or my hips at any point. The only thing working here should be my shoulders. If you're using your legs at all, you are cheating this movement and you're taking tension away from your shoulders. One final thing, it's a little tough to see from this angle, but I am not arching my lower back. If I'm arching my lower back, I'm getting assistance from my upper pecs. And that's going to be, again, cheating the movement. We hit upper pecs on chest day. We're not trying to do it right here on shoulder day. So, in order to counter that, I legitimately squeeze my butt cheeks. I know that seems counterintuitive, but give it a try on your warm-up. When you squeeze your butt cheeks, that brings in your hips, keeps your spine straight, and it won't move anywhere, so that way you can just force tension onto your shoulders. And the final little tidbit, this is the strength movement, so this follows the same formula as all your other strength movements if you've been following this program correctly. So we'll do one set with just the bar, and then 3 to 6 warm-up sets going progressively higher in weight, but nowhere near failure. So you see right here, I got 225 pounds on the bar. This is my working set. These are the ones where we go real heavy, and we only focus on increasing numbers. So our first giant set is actually one of my favorites, and one of the rare occasions where we're not going to finish with abs. First exercise right here, modified Arnold press. Anyone who's been lifting for any amount of time knows what an Arnold press is. Well, this is a modified one. So you'll notice I bring the dumbbells down and rotate my wrists so the back of my hands are actually facing the mirror in front of me. And also, as I bring them down, just like the overhead press, my triceps come down, rest on my lats as I press them straight up. Then I hop right into arc press with some dumbbells that are lighter than the ones I would use for the modified Arnold. Now, as the name suggests, you see right here, I'm moving the dumbbells in an arc. I have my hands in a hammer position, so you'll see just like that, they're going to come up and tap at the top. I'm doing an arc movement, very similar to how you would do dumbbell flies on your chest day. Same principles apply, keeping the lats flexed, keeping my shoulders locked into place. And then I drop the weight again and immediately hop into dumbbell front raises. Like I mentioned before, with the warm-up, I like to rotate my wrists so that way I'm taking my thumbs to the ceiling so I can get a better isolation on the front delt. Notice here I'm trying to minimize my swing, although considering the fatigue, I am going to swing a little. Now let's watch it one more time so we can really take it all in. So you see right here, modified Arnold. I'm bringing the dumbbells down, resting my triceps on my lats, and then pressing them all the way up. Notice I am not touching the dumbbells together at the top. For these types of movements, such as military press, if you bring the dumbbells up and touch them at the top, that's actually resting at the top. But if I bring them up to where they don't touch, that's actually constant tension on the shoulders. And you'll see right here, I'm also have a minimal amount of lower back arch because we're, again, trying to isolate shoulders. We do not want upper pec assistance. And then you see I actually drop the dumbbells from 60s to 40s when I'm going to the arc press. So this is a good little rule of thumb here when you're dropping the weights. You know, I like to drop them about 20 pounds when I'm going from the modified Arnold to the arc press. So you can see from this angle right here, keeping my back muscles flexed, so I'm locking my shoulders into place. And then again, drop the weights by about 20 pounds and go right into these dumbbell front raises. So boom, boom, there we go. Really just generating that last bit of tension with some light weight at the end of this giant set, so we can really burn out the shoulders here. Alright, so the setup on this one, again, is going to be a little bit different than our standard giant sets for the other muscle groups of the day. So we're starting with the lateral raises. So you'll see here, I'm actually bringing the dumbbells in the front before raising them up on each set, as opposed to our warm-up where we're doing it slightly different. So we're going to watch it again in slow-mo so we can really take it in here. So the reason I bring them in the front on these ones is, well, you get that little extra stretch at the bottom on your deltoids. And as I've mentioned before, getting that little extra stretch actually generates more tension, recruiting more muscle fibers. Now, you'll also notice I'm using a minimal amount of swing from my torso. If you're doing a ton of swing, you're taking tension away from your shoulders again. Now, also, just like our warm-up, the elbows are slightly bent, and as I raise them up, I actually raise my pinkies as if I have 2 jugs of water in each hand, and I'm slowly dumping the water out at the top of each rep. Also notice I'm only going as high as getting my arms to go parallel to the ground. As soon as I hit my 10 reps with a heavier weight than I would use for my warm-up, then I immediately drop the weight, and I pick up dumbbells that are about half that weight and do the same exact thing for 10 more reps. Hence the name drop set, which if you've been lifting for a little while, you know what a drop set is. But you see, the thing is, with deltoids, they're such small muscles, it's really tough to generate a ton of tension on them. So that's why we got to get creative and do these kinds of giant sets on them and do these kinds of drop sets to really get these little guys to start blowing up. Alright guys, right here I have a little bonus for you. This is a fun little workout if you got time to add to your shoulder routine. Notice I got the incline bench and I'm facing the opposite direction, so my chest is planted on the incline. I'm actually going to start here with a pre-weighed barbell, something real lightweight. Notice how I start with a inside grip, do 10 reps, and then immediately switch to a medium grip and do 10 reps. As soon as I'm done there, I'm going to switch to a super wide grip and do 10 reps there. This is going to get a great squeeze with your delts as well as your traps. This will be a good little finisher to your shoulder day if you got time or a little extra gas in the tank. Try to get 3 or 4 sets of these bad boys to really burn them out. And something I want you to take note of is I'm pulling the barbell all the way up to about head level, so I'm really getting that squeeze at the top of the movement. And as always, let's finish off with a little conditioning. Right here we got mountain climbers, which are great because you can do them just about anywhere.